I'm going to go into a story that I think is going to help you get into lead abundance. So what I'm going to teach you is a story that you're going to find yourself in, okay? This story, you're going to find where you're at right now in your law firm. And I promise you, you are one shift away from tripling your law firm's profits, revenue, and your personal freedom. The first year I went into business, I did $450,000 in revenue. I was really good at sales, right? This was 3.5 years ago when I started my business. It was cold calling and email outreach, okay? The second year when I started this business, which was 2.5 years ago, I changed one strategy that brought in an additional $1 million in revenue, how lead abundance actually occurs, okay? So enter 2019, okay? I entered 2019, we were doing cold prospecting for our company, and I decided we have to start getting leads for our company inbound. I need people calling me to help them, okay? So I decided to look into Google, and I found about this tool that's called the Google Keyword Planner, okay? And the Google Keyword Planner is a way where you can basically see how many times per month people are typing in certain keywords, okay, per month. So since I market to lawyers, I started looking at how do lawyers type in marketing services for lawyers? What are the different words that lawyers use? So I went to ads.google.com, went to the Google Keyword Planner, and I started typing in lawyer marketing, lawyer SEO, lawyer marketing services, etc. And I started looking into it and thinking to myself, is there any way for me to get in front of these people who are typing in lawyer marketing keywords? So I took a step back and I realized it's going to be too expensive, okay, for me to go and spend all my money on lawyer marketing keywords. So I went and did a little bit more research, and I found that there was this specific niche where lawyers were still searching for marketing services, but it was more nuanced. And it was this niche called lawyer PPC, which stands for pay per click. It was essentially lawyers looking to have just their Google advertising campaigns managed, okay? So I decided, instead of me going after the red ocean, which was lawyer marketing as a keyword, right? I wanted to choose one keyword and dominate all of page 1 of Google and all of YouTube for that one keyword. So here's exactly what I did. I went and I created a Google Ads campaign, a Google advertising campaign, and in the snap of a finger, I was showing up first in all 50 states when a lawyer went online and typed in lawyer PPC. In my first month, I spent $6,000 in advertising spend on that campaign. Within the end of that year, I scaled that campaign up to $26,000 per month. It ended up pulling in an average of 10 to 15 clients per month for my business, okay? Now, most lawyers think that spending $2,000 a month on advertising is a lot of money. And we're going to get to the lesson. How did I know to scale it up that quickly? We're going to get to that at the end of the story. So one change, okay, allowed me to get to the top of Google Ads. And then I said, how can I show up at the top of Google SEO, organic? So that little section below the Google Maps section, how can I also show up first when someone types in lawyer PPC? So I wrote a really long blog post. Actually, I didn't. My wife, Emily, did, who's our marketing director. She wrote this really long blog post called Lawyer PPC Playbook. And it was this long blog post. And literally in 6 months of us posting it on our website, we were not only showing up first for the keyword lawyer PPC, we were also showing up first for Google Ads, but we were also showing up first for SEO. So we had effectively dominated page 1 of Google with that one strategy. Then I said, what about if someone goes over to YouTube? Okay, if someone types in lawyer PPC on YouTube, what are they going to see? So I made a video called Law Firm PPC Mistakes, Lessons Learned After Spending $2.8 million in Google Ad Spend last year, right? And I made this video. I was completely uncomfortable. I had no idea what I was doing. Literally, all I did was have bullets on a sheet. And literally overnight, that video was showing up first on YouTube for the same keyword. From that, we created an ebook called the Lawyer PPC Playbook, which was a PDF. And then we were able to capture leads from this entire thing, right? So that one strategy took me from an email list of 0 to an email list of 500. That one strategy took me from $400,000 in revenue to $1.5 million in revenue in my second year in business. One strategy changed it all. So at that point, I hit a ceiling of complexity. I started getting confused. Like, what do I do next? I don't know that much about marketing. Seriously, like I didn't. This is my second year in business. I was completely like, I didn't know what to do next. So I went on YouTube this one day and I typed in lawyer marketing as a keyword and I saw this guy pop up. He named his YouTube channel Lawyer Marketing by Andrew Stickle. I was like, that is brilliant. He named his YouTube channel the keyword he wanted to show up for. I was like, how didn't I think of that? So I dropped what I was doing and I contacted Andy Stickle. I reached out to him and I asked, hey, Andy, this is 18 months ago to the day. I asked Andy Stickle, hey, can I interview you on my podcast? I had never done a webinar before. I'd never done a virtual interview before. Okay. I reached out to Andy Stickle and said, can I interview you? He said, yes. So I interviewed him on how to be omnipresent. How do you be everywhere in your market, in your niche? How are you an inescapable brand? And I interviewed him on that. And right after the interview, I asked Andy Stickle a question. I said, Andy, would you be willing to do a mastermind with me on Wednesdays at 4:45 p.m.? And what do you guys think Andy Stickle said? Here I am, this new guy. And he said, yes. Okay. So every single Wednesday for the last 18 months, I have met with one of my best friends on earth, Andy Stickle. He's become one of my best friends. Like he's the person I call when crap hits the fan. He's someone I would trust with my life savings. But all of this wouldn't have happened if I didn't reach out when I hit a ceiling of complexity, which we'll come to in just a minute. So after that, the next year, I modeled everything I learned from Andy Stickle. I didn't question it. I did it. I actually made 500 videos. Okay, I'm going to say it again, guys. I actually made 500 videos in about 18 months, which was insane. I actually did it. Some of them have been deleted because they sucked, but I actually put out 500 videos, okay? So the point is this. I hit a ceiling of complexity and I found someone to model. Andy's the person I learned how to run Facebook ads campaigns from. He's the person I learned how to do YouTube from. He was the model I had for that phase in my career. So then, because of the one model that I found, Andy Stickle, I took my business from 1.5 million to $4 million last year, my third year ever in business as a 29-year-old, okay? Now I'm 30, thank you very much. I think no, it's not over the hill, almost over the hill. So now, once we started getting more leads and we went from 15 leads a month to 200 leads a month, I had new problems. I had to build a sales team. I had to remove myself from the intake in your world. I had to remove myself from doing the actual work. And I ran into another ceiling of complexity. So instead of trying to figure it out myself, I reached out to someone who I was interviewing on Clubhouse, believe it or not, named Cameron Herold. Cameron Herold is the former chief operating officer of 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And I reached out to Cameron and I said, will you be my coach? I'll pay whatever it takes. I'll do whatever it takes for you to be my coach. And he said, nah, he turned me down. The next week, I reached out to him again, please be my coach. And he said, nope, your business is too small, only 5 million plus. I said, please be my coach, please, 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 please. And finally, the third time I asked, he said, okay, Bill, I'll be your coach. $50,000 up front, I'll coach you for the whole year. I said, done, sign me up right now. I didn't think about it. I immediately pulled the trigger on it. Now, fast forward to this year, I've spent $380,500 on coaches. Why? Because it works. That one ceiling of complexity that I hit on how to run a business was completely solved by Cameron Herold, who took my business from last year, $4 million, to now this year, we're projected to hit $8.8 million, my fourth year in business. I don't share this to brag, guys. I share this because I want you to be inspired that when you hit a ceiling of complexity, you will find a new paradigm. So in this entire journey, I went through what's called a lead abundance shift. I went from having no opportunity, no leads, no email list, nobody knew who I was, to now we get predictably 200 attorneys every single month, more than Andy, by the way. I love you, Andy. Okay, and that's because I'm a crazy, insane, aggressive maniac, and Andy is a little more calm than me, so I'm like pedal to the metal all the time. But Andy could do it too, by the way. Andy has all the right strategies. But the point is this: I'm getting 200 appointments per month. How many of you would your law firm be transformed if you were getting 200 booked appointments in the calendar per month for your services? Would anybody's law firm be transformed? You would be able to increase your average case value. You would be able to say no to the a-holes and crazies. How many of you would love that, right? You would be able to literally handcraft your law firm. You'd be able to design the exact practice area slice that you wanted to go into in the market. But without lead abundance, you're not going to attract A-level staff. You're not going to attract the clients, the dream clients that you want. And I'm telling you, it's real. Okay? So there's a couple lessons that I learned from this story. The first one is when I hit my first ceiling of complexity, I didn't know what to do. I reached out to Andy Stickle and he taught me how to run Facebook ads. He taught me how to do YouTube, and it brought my business another 3 million, 2.5. I reached another ceiling of complexity and I found Cameron Herold. That's the second lesson. I didn't know how to run my business, right? How many of you feel like you don't really even know how to run the business? You just kind of got into the thing. You're like, how do I sign up for this, right? How do I hold employee performance meetings? How do I set quarterly goals? How do I disseminate projects across the company, right? How do we do project plans, right? The third thing is I realized I had done the upside math. Throughout all of this, there were two key decisions that I made. I decided to scale my Google Ads budget from $6,000 to $26,000 a month in a matter of 6 months. And I decided to scale my Facebook ads budget from $4,000 to $60,000 a month in 2 months. Because all I did, while all of my competitors are panicking about what they're spending, all I did was look at the upside. What if it works? When's the last time you asked yourself that question? What if it does work? That's called doing the upside math. The fourth lesson I learned was to outsource incremental and to embrace exponential. I'll say that again. Write this one down. It was the secret. Outsource incremental, embrace exponential. See, I was running my own Google Ads campaigns and I was writing the blog posts myself with Emily, right? And I realized, holy crap, all of this stuff is delegatable. There's one thing, however, that's not delegatable, and that is branding. And I need to embrace the exponential effects of branding, and I need to outsource and delegate the things that will only have an incremental impact on my time input. Outsource incremental, embrace exponential. You have to embrace branding and the power of branding. And the fifth realization is it only takes one strategy per year to triple your law firm. Now, it takes testing 10 strategies to find that one, but that one strategy is all you're missing. One paradigm, one marketing method, and that's why you're here today.